Hello there, it's Janus here from the Janus Project, coming to you with a few things that have been on my mind lately about the past, the present, and the future. You know, last year, 2016, a lot of things happened, and a lot of people thought that it was a pretty bad year, or a rough year, you know. For me, first and foremost, it was alright. It was below par, I guess. I'd just like to probably point out that yeah, I moved in between jobs. I was working at a job between January and April for about 4 years, and then I quit that. And then from April up until October of last year, 2016, I didn't really have a job. I was unemployed, trying to look for one, doing some part-time jobs here and there, yada yada yada, keep myself afloat. And then I got a job between October and at present now. So just trying to maintain that, trying to keep my sanity, you know. And also juggling this as well, because this is something that I really love to do. I love having fun with this. And I like to entertain, and I want to grow. I really want to grow, you know. I know I'm behind a lot of people who are doing this kind of stuff because, you know, I just didn't have the equipment. And I was quite a few years behind compared to everybody else, but now, you know, I'm here and I'm just making the best of it and just having fun with it. And if things come to fruition, then they come to fruition. You know, I'm not asking for much. I just want to be here, do stuff that I love to do, play games that I love to play. It's my thing. It's been almost my thing now. Now going just to talk a little bit about 2016, where we had, you know, a lot of things that have happened, especially in terms of celebrities who are passing away. A lot of people were pretty sad about a lot of celebrities passing, and some I saw were like, why are people crying over celebrities? Why is that such a big thing? And I remember I reacted pretty strongly to this because, you know, death is death. Mourning is mourning. Grief is grief. There's no black and white when it comes down to... there's no color or even grey area when it comes down to this. It's always black and white. It's always one or the other, nothing in between. And people who had passed on, like the celebrities that were seeming to drop out left, right, and center, you know, we got Robert Vaughn, Gene Wilder, Florence Henderson, Bill Nunn, Doris Roberts, Nancy Reagan, Alan Rickman, David Bowie, Muhammad Ali, Prince, Frank Sinatra Jr., Kenny Baker, and a whole plethora of other celebrities. You know, those are just scratching the surface. Things happen. People pass on. And people get sad. You know? And we cannot question those people who get sad for those things. When Robin Williams passed away all those years ago, and he unfortunately took his life, you know, that hit me pretty hard. And I remember I was thinking to myself, I don't really want to tell anybody about this. I'll just say a comment here and there, my condolences on Facebook, and that's it. But it did really hit me hard because, I mean, I really liked the guy. I really liked what he brought to acting and what he brought to my life. Because he was comedic, I've got a couple of his DVDs, and my point is, it mattered to me. I've never met him. I've always wanted to. I've never met him. And yeah, I'm kind of sort of 70-30, where I see a lot of people who express their grief and their sorrow that their favorite celebrities passed. I totally understand that. I really do. And I will never question, and I shouldn't, but if I do, shame on me, but I will never question why they would be sad for them. They're just sad for them. That's it. You know, quick story. Somebody was telling me that, you know, they asked me about something. I don't know why we go into the topic of crying. And a year ago, I'm not even going to talk about the movie just in case of spoilers, but a year ago I saw a movie. I cried pretty hard in the cinemas. I'm not talking about like shed a couple of tears and grab a tissue. I'm talking about crying where you have like the hiccups and you're sad and you want to look in the mirror just to double check yourself that, you know, that you look sad, and then you cry some more, and then you're like you're breathing really hard, that kind of crying. And I was kind of proud to tell her that I cried in the cinemas for that character because they meant a lot to me. I grew up with them a lot with the movies that they did, and that character was now gone. And that's something that I mean, their reaction was, really? Did you really cry for that character in that particular movie? And I'm like, yeah, I did. And it happens, and I justified myself, and that's what it is. So, 2016, a lot of people passed, and, a big one that really sort of, just the last part that I want to talk about was Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, the crazy ex-girlfriend from Blues Brothers, the girl who, was in Harry Met Sally, that was supposed to be going through a divorce. I remember her, and I grew up with Star Wars a lot, and she was like my first crush. Beautiful. Return of the Jedi, she looks so gorgeous. And then obviously in Cloud City, Empire Strikes Back, and then of course Star Wars: A New Hope. Big thing, so unexpected, and I did cry. I did cry when I heard about it, and I was at work, and I remember I accidentally said really loudly, "Ah, man!" Like I was really like hit hard by it, and yeah, and that broke me on that day. It was a tough moment, because I grew up with her, and she was only 60 years old. She's young. That's young. That's really young. And then finally, Debbie Reynolds. Debbie Reynolds, I used to follow her a little bit through, what was it, through Will and Grace. I used to watch that show when it was on television, and I saw her. I completely forgot that she was the voice of Charlotte in Charlotte's Web. And I remember, I think the one time that I watched Charlotte's Web, and I'm talking about the original Charlotte's Web, the cartoon, not the one with the live action, which was with Julia Roberts, I think, was Charlotte's Web. But yeah, the cartoon, and yeah, man, I still remember that, and I even revisited it after she passed, and I watched it, and I was just like, oh man, it was just, and then that broke me again. And then of course she was in Singing in the Rain. So that's a great movie that I know that I used to study back in high school, because I was doing drama about it, and we had to do a piece about that. So yeah, that was that's 2016, and I know a lot of people it would have been really cool, to meet her. And I know somebody who a good acquaintance of mine. They had moved to Canada. They saw her at a recent convention about a couple of months ago, and said that she was like a cool lady, and even asked for some M&Ms from them. They were eating some M&Ms. She was like, "I'm gonna have some." It's like, yeah, sure. How could you say no to Carrie Fisher? So I'm very envious that he met her. The living, the legend, the princess of, the princess. But that was 2016. That's been and gone. Presently now, there's a few things that I want to talk about. Where, last year was a great year for me. We did have a big sort of like double my numbers from I think about 2022 to now. I'm sitting at 45 subs, and of course I want more subscribers. I want more people to join the channel. And, again, I want to entertain people. And I'm going to be changing up that format, because my plans for this year, I'm thinking about doing about a podcast with people who I know. They're not famous or celebrities, but just talking, just kicking back and just having a chat. And these podcasts you can run while you're, doing something on the computer. You just listen to us and just talking about stuff. Anything and everything, probably nerd related, but anything and everything. That'll just be, I want to do that once a month, so 12 people this year I want to have a podcast chat with. Probably more of a one-to-one thing, I don't know, but podcast is definitely in the works. I don't know about the themes. I know last year I was doing every 2 months, I was doing a theme with games and whatnot. I want to actually take a break from that, and the only theme I want to try now is just something, a bit spontaneous, but at the same time, the theme will revolve around me doing walkthroughs during the weekdays. and on the weekends I'll do some multiplayer stuff, you know. Just sort of kick it up, and maybe I'll just throw it up, you know, different ways here and there. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that this year is going to be a great year for games. I need to get back into Overwatch, I need to get back into Titanfall, I need to get back into Battlefield 1. I know For Honor is coming out, and I really, really, really want to play that game. I've been wanting to play that game for ages. So I really want to get into that. And then maybe, you know, I'll try and get into some conventions this year where I'm at in Australia, in Melbourne. You know, have a look around at what conventions I've got to offer, because I've been out of the convention scene for a couple of years. So I want to do that, spread the word, get people to, you know, say hello, and just really get into the swing of things. Because I think in the last couple of years I've sort of just been a little bit of a hermit, and then I did this, and I've sort of like become more. When I went into being a hermit, because I'm naturally an introvert, this has sort of brought me back out of that shell, sort of being a bit more extroverted and just sort of talking and just sort of chilling out and having fun. So that's what I want to do this year. I mean, there's plenty of other stuff that could arise, you know. Remember, if there's only one thing that you could probably take out of this whole sort of like this updated video, you can plan things. You can really plan things, but sometimes, you know, they just don't go to plan. You know, that's why I'm sort of like coming off that gnome theme thing, because I did say that a couple of games I wanted to go into last year I never went into, or I only went to about a couple of episodes, and I sort of didn't really go through a walkthrough of them, so they were just previews. But I really want to do walkthroughs, you know. I really want to do multiplayer stuff, and I really want to do podcasting, and I really want to, you know, just have that general expansion. So, you know, that's what I plan to do. That's the plan for 2017. 2016 is past. We still mourn, we still grieve for those who we have lost, personal and public. Whether it's trivial or not is entirely up to yourself. But that's been and gone. It's a new year. We celebrate those that we've loved and pass on, and we celebrate what could be, you know, what could be new successes this year, new wins, you know, new learns. I'm always learning every day. Even though sometimes I'm sitting at my computer doing not much. To some people's eyes, they're like, he's not learning anything. Oh, I'm learning. Whether it's going to be in like information that could be considered as trivial, or information that I find deemed interesting, I'm always learning. And that's what I want to try and, you know, better myself, as well as increase this channel and expand further, because I still feel as if that there is more to Australian gaming than what it is currently now. We should be up there. We may not have the tools, but we should be up there. So I really want to garner some reputation, garner, you know, a following. Because yeah, I just want to have fun, man. That's what life's about. You know, you get your serious parts, but when you have fun, that's when life is worth living, you know. But yeah, anyway, that's my sort of like, you know, speech for today. What I will say is that I do thank you for listening on this particular video, for the updates and sort of my thoughts. I may do something down the track later, something similar, if I feel that I really need to talk about a couple of things, and just sort of just shoot the shit. And yeah, again, thank you again for listening to this. If you like this video or any of my other videos, by all means, leave a like, subscribe, or comment. Leaving likes really do help. And yeah, like I said, I want to grow this channel. I want to expand. I want more subs. I just want to have fun. And I really want to meet new people as well. And I've already met new people. So yeah, hopefully they'll be involved in my videos in the near futures. But my name is Janus from the Janus Project, saying see you until next time, and take care of yourselves. You have a good one.